were born around a campfire, told in whispers. But today, they're born in the wild, chaotic flash of the internet. They're legends built by algorithms and human creativity, giving us these incredible figures that, well, they only exist in our shared digital world. Today, we're opening the case file on one of the greats, a mastermind, a ghost in the machine, a legend known only as Chandler.
Now let's be clear, we're not talking about just some meme here. The lore around Chandler isn't just a funny picture. No, it's a collection of stories, like digital folklore, about this trickster figure with almost unbelievable skills. He's a master con artist, and his main weapon is this form of psychological warfare that's so advanced, it literally feels like he can bend reality. Let's dig into the first piece of evidence, shall we?
So, where does a legend like this even begin? Well, for Chandler, it wasn't some huge public spectacle. It started small, with an incredibly intricate and deeply personal operation, a con that was aimed at messing with the mind of just one person. And this, right here, is where we see the blueprint for his particular brand of genius.
Okay, this is our first official exhibit in the Chandler file. We're calling it the John Heist. And I mean it, you're going to want to pay close attention to the details here, because the way this went down is, well, it's unlike anything you've ever seen before.
So at first glance, what are we looking at? It looks like some criminal's amazing hideout, right? You've got server racks, some really nice motorcycles, what look like crypto mining rigs, and are those literal piles of gold bars? It has all the signs of a super successful heist. But the real clue, the thing that unlocks this whole con, it's hiding in plain sight. It's right there in the text.
Let's isolate the man's own words. After bullshitting John into thinking I stole my own shit. Let that sink in for a second. Chandler didn't steal a single thing from John. He pulled off a reverse heist. He convinced this guy, John, that he, Chandler, had managed to steal his own stuff from himself. It is an absolute masterclass in gaslighting.
I mean, when you actually break it down, the absurdity is it's beautiful. The target? Just one dude. The method? Pure psychological warfare. And the objective wasn't even to get rich. It was to create the illusion that a crime happened. And the loot? The punchline is, it was his stuff to begin with. This just shows you a mind that is operating on a totally different and way more chaotic level of thinking.
So this first case is absolutely fascinating, but believe me, it is just the beginning. It really makes you wonder, right? What happens when a con artist with this kind of talent decides to scale up? What happens when their ambition goes from messing with one person's head to messing with an entire city?
And that brings us to our next case file, the Tucson job. This is where we see a quantum leap in just pure audacity. The method is pretty much the same, but the scope is almost impossible to wrap your head around.
Just take a look at this scene. We are definitely not in a basement anymore. We're out in what looks like the Arizona desert, and we're seeing hundreds, maybe thousands of people, and every single one of them has a motorcycle. It's a huge crowd. But this isn't some festival. According to the legend, this is the aftermath of Chandler's next big move.
And once again, the text tells the whole story. Chandler didn't steal all their motorcycles. Come on, that'd be way too simple. Instead, he apparently bullshitted the entire motorcycle-owning population of Tucson into believing he bought all of their bikes. He completely flipped the script on the crime. Instead of grand theft auto, he committed grand-scale consensual acquisition through sheer unadulterated confidence.
And the price he paid for what has to be millions of dollars worth of vehicles, the grand total for this entire citywide fleet of bikes was, get this, $100. Just $100. The audacity it's everything. That's what makes the legend.
So let's just put these two operations side by side for a second. We go from a personal scope to a citywide one, from targeting a single person to targeting an entire population. And the plausibility? Well, that shifts from just bizarre to completely and utterly impossible. This incredible jump in absurdity is the very engine that powers the whole myth of Chandler. Okay, let's pull back from the story for a minute and just analyze what's really happening here. Why is a story that makes absolutely no sense so funny and so compelling? To get that, we need to look at the anatomy of this very specific kind of internet humor. So at the very heart of what we're calling the Chandlerverse is this unique definition of bullshitting. It's not just about lying. In this world, it's a form of reality manipulation. It's the art of putting forward an idea that is so complicated, so ridiculous, and saying it with such incredible confidence that anyone who questions it ends up looking like they're the crazy one.
What's so cool about this is that these images are more than just jokes. They're like AI-assisted short stories. An AI generates this completely bizarre, nonsensical picture, and then a person comes along and adds that perfect layer of text that gives it this hilarious, legendary context. It's this brand new form of collaborative storytelling, a duet between a human and a machine.
And really, this brings us to the final big takeaway. With all these tools that can generate any reality we can possibly imagine, the line between what's real and what's made up becomes less of a boundary and more of, well, a creative choice. It leaves us with one last thought to chew on. In an age where any one of us can cook up an impossible scenario with just a few keystrokes, are we all just one clever caption away from becoming the next Chandler?